We will have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. It's 10 o'clock, July 29th, 2020. As you can see, we have two county commissioners here, and President Ed Hawkins is following our COVID protocol. He has a possible secondary contact. So what in our rules say is it's to self-monitor. So that's where he's at right now. So with that, we will move on and have consents and approvals.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 53 exonerations for $45,584.11. 3 requests to create new statements for $2,203.26. Vouchers, General County Fund, $43,717.90. Coal Severance, $112.31. Camp Muffley, $5,435.67. Assessor's Valuation, $328.72. Purchasing Card Vouchers, General County Fund, $1,308.53. Camp Muffley, $872.68. Recreation Levy, $4,213. Assessor's Valuation, $122.37 for a voucher total of $56,111.18. We have the a budget revision. It's the required state approval for the General County Fund carryover revision. If you guys want to take that up separately, you can.
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay. Position vacancies for boards and authorities: the Western Board of Zoning Appeals, the Monongalia County Planning Commission, Monongalia County Development Authority, Camp Muffley Advisory Board, Abandoned and Dilapidated Enforcement Agency, Mason-Dixon Park Advisory Board, Region 6 Planning and Development Council, Historic Landmarks Commission, and the Mountaineer Trail Network Authority. Fiduciary orders for July 29th, 2020.
Move for approval.
Second. Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now let's have a separate, if you will make a motion on that so
Yeah,
Ben can understand the clarification.
in our fiscal year 21 budget, we had estimated the carryover at $9 million. The carryover, the final number came in at $9,121,331.08, or about 1.35% increase over what we projected. So actually, given the incredible second half of the year that we went through, this is a remarkable accomplishment. So we have to send a letter to the auditor to move that money to the accounts. And as we had, where's my letter at? As we had decided, with that $121,000, we're going to provide additional funding for the health department for additional sanitarian, and that's going to come up later in the agenda. Additional funding for the Celebration of America event that was held for 4th of July, forfeiture and reimbursement items for the prosecuting attorney of about $20,000, and the remainder will go into, for now, will go into county commission contributions. So that's all that the auditor requires at this time. I'll talk about the general carryover a little later, but for now, that's what we need to approve as the changes to these to the budgets accordingly.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So move that we approve the budget request that is in our file.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes unanimously. Okay. Anything else before I move on, Vanetta?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Move on to introduction of new employees, personnel changes. Mark, oh, okay. Come on down.
Good morning.
Morning. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you all?
Good.
I'd already laid everything up there for
Yes.
you all this morning. There should be 2 forms there. The first one on top is Miss Jackie Harmon. Jackie is going to be a new personal property deputy for us. She'll start Monday with full-time position, benefits eligible, and a 90-day introductory period.
Move for approval.
Second. Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. The second one is actually a move from part-time to full-time. This was the new full-time position that we'd asked for in our budget this year. With our increase in data entry, we needed some more staff hours and stuff. So this is Miss Melanie Raleigh. She's been with us for a little over a year. She'd be moving to full-time position, benefit eligible, 35 hours per week, and after a 90-day introductory period.
Move for approval?
Second, properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Miss Amy Heddick, how you doing? Welcome from Chestnut Ridge Park. And hello, Michael.
So I wanted to bring Michael Watson with me today to introduce him to you. He is for our full-time maintenance position. Michael has work experience with groundskeeping, and then he's also technically trained through MTech with plumbing and construction and electrical handyman maintenance stuff.
Move for approval?
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And this is real exciting too with the school system, since you were trained here and got the skills needed to stay here. So I just want to congratulate you and thank the school system. And Amy, I know you're really busy going on, so I'll let you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Michael. Do we have any other introduction of new employees? Seeing none, we will go to comments from the public. Are there any comments from the public? And we have a special guest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Susan Riddle from Visit Mountain Air Country CVB. I wanted to stop by, thank the Commission for including us yesterday in the meeting with Greene County. I think there's a lot of, especially our regionalized events calendar, I think there's a lot of things, as well as their history and trails and whatnot, that they'll be a great addition, and I'd love to get those chains of communication flowing. On another note, today we are rolling out, last time I was here I talked to you about our commitment to safety. I want to request that the County Commission actually sign up for our commitment to safety, and I'll leave with Renetta the number of window clings. We push this out on our social media. It's to get the community around supporting the efforts that everybody's making, and to positively impact our local environment and it's not just for tourists, it's for our community at large. This has been so successful so far in the last couple days. Thank God we brought some people back for staff, because there is no way that I could handle this. We're actually going out and doing social media photos of people that are participating, so it's going out in multiple directions. But this is so popular that, and it's not applicable for everybody, that we decided to roll out our Pledge to Prevent. This is for individuals. We keep everybody's identity confidential, but we ask people to go and sign up. So if you go to Visit Mountain Air Country, Commitment to Safety, you'll see both opportunities on the same screen. There will be videos for both. It's exciting, but this is just for individuals to say, hey, this is what I'm doing to help to my pledge to protect. So when you do sign on, I'm listed as Susan R. Nobody knows who well, you all know who Susan R. is now, but you don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of Susan R's. But we had a lot of people that were saying, I'd love to do this, but I'm not a business. And I'm like, you know what? This is the swell of support that we couldn't pass up. So I don't hand these out without knowing people haven't already signed up. But I'm going to give them to everybody here, and hopefully just count on everyone to go and sign up. And you can put this anywhere. You can put it on a window or whatever. If you have other businesses that they want to do the commitment to safety, just let us know, and we'll get them signed up as well. So, any questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Susan.
Then I'll give you the information.
And thank you for
And we have a press
participating
release
yesterday.
going out today, too, on that, so.
Yeah.
You only have two entrance and an exit to the building? Okay, so I'll give you two. And I know Commissioner Hawkins is going to be,
Okay.
so I want him slated. Okay, all right,
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to comment in the public? Seeing none, we cancel it. It's closed. Okay, Colleen Kuhn, do you have any grants? No grants. Correspondence.
I just have one item that came in yesterday in the mail. It's a thank you letter from Chestnut Mountain Ranch for the commission's support and the funding for that we were provided for in the amount of $2,500.
Great. I have one communication, and bless you, and it's very exciting news. If you saw your email from Lee Smith, he announced that we have 14 days in the red, then 7 days in the orange, and today we're yellow for the first time in weeks. So never thought I'd be thrilled to say we're yellow, but we're now in the yellow, and that's again. And as Susan said, for the commitment and pledge that everyone's staying social distancing, that we're washing our hands and wearing masks. So I think that is a very positive step moving in that direction for our community. Unfinished business.
None.
Okay, new business. Consideration to approve the request by Matt Dreher, General Manager of West Virginia Black Bears, for funding in the amount of $8,750 to assist with cleanup following dynamic baseball events tournament.
Move for approval?
Second. It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 And just for
Yeah.
knowledge, there's about 3 or 4 events that they were having at Black Bear Stadium, and we are funding this out of our fund that we have to fund events at the stadium, so this kind of fits right in.
Okay, consider additional funding request by the Triple S Celebration of America in the amount of $5,000.
Move to approve?
Second, and just for clarification, it costs about $65,000 to run all these events. We had donated $5,000. We're going to give $5,000 more, and we asked if you were going to come back here, and we felt it was a great event and need at the time. So with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consideration to approve request for supplementary funding assistance to provide an additional sanitarian to the staff at Mon County Health Department.
Move to approve?
Second with discussion. Go ahead.
Yes, this is, Dr. Smith called us, and obviously they're in dire need of help. It's an all hands on deck, and they had an individual that, they've had open positions, they had an individual that already has a lot of the quals, and they were hoping that if they hired him, he'd be ready to jump right in, or he or she, I'm not even sure who
I think
it
it
was.
was
It's a she.
Yeah.
They would be ready to jump right in and start helping out. So he had a conversation with us, and we were all in favor of it. So all we're going to do is just add another $50,000 request. So we'll add another $12.5 thousand to their quarterly payments to account for this position.
Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're glad that we can do that. Are there any other new business items?
No, sir.
No, sir. How about reports from any elected officials? Seeing none, we'll go to reports from county commissioner. Sean?
Okay, since last week's Wednesday meeting, I had a Milan Park Executive Committee on Thursday, and then we had the Justice Center follow-up call regarding the week closure of the Justice Center, and I want to thank all the county officials and state officials that got on those calls, all of the calls, to have the initial discussion, to discuss a plan of action going forward, to initiate the plan of action, to communicate it, and then to get back together and follow up to see what we'd do for this week. So it's the way it should work. So I appreciate everybody doing that. Friday, we had staff reports. Yesterday, as Susan indicated, we went to Greene County and met with the Greene County commissioners and a lot of their economic development and recreation people, and it was a very, very good meeting. So I look forward to more of those follow-ons. We've been having these calls with these individuals every couple weeks on Wednesdays before our meeting, and there's a lot we have in common that we can work together on, so I'm looking forward to continuing that. Today's a regular day. Tomorrow I have my Mon County Health Department meeting. I have a Mon Park Executive Committee meeting in the morning, and then I have Airport Commerce Park funding discussion in the afternoon with city officials and people from the Development Authority. Friday we have our staff reports. In a general nature, Commissioner Bloom had mentioned that we put together, in working with all the county offices and especially the county health department, we knew that, and we've been dealing with this for weeks, for months, we knew that as we had employees that came in contact or became positive, and what the different levels of contact were, that we needed to put some policy out so that all of our offices treated our employees equally. So we did that, and we got comments, we got input from the health department, and then we put that out to all of our county offices. We gave to the judges so they can utilize it, and we asked that they share it with the employees. So it's basically just a how-to in regards to if you have what definitions for what contact is, what do you do for just general maintenance, what we are expecting of our employees in our buildings, what we do for primary contact, secondary contact, and then if you're positive. So it's very useful, and I appreciate the efforts of Colleen and Renetta pulling that together, and all the offices providing input for that. We actually didn't get any input back, and prior to that, we actually put out a travel policy. So as we entered into summer, and our employees are going places, we wanted to make sure that each supervisor is having a conversation with that employee in regards to where they were going and the requirements that were required of them. And as Mr. Hawkins isn't here today, he's following it because he knows somebody that was in contact with a positive person, so that's a possible secondary. So he's self-monitoring himself for 5 days. I wasn't here last week because I traveled, and I came back and I followed a 5-day policy. So we don't put these policies in place and think they're for everybody else. They're for us too. So, and I'd like to talk about the fiscal year 20 budget performance. As I mentioned, we're $121,000 over our projection. There was a great job with the planning and the budgeting. So every year, Renetta and I kind of have a friendly competition of how we can get that number as close as possible, and I think we did a pretty good job this year. In terms of the second half of the year, because that's really when the COVID situation started taking effect. First half of the year, we had the second best performance in the last 8 years. Now, I have detailed statistics for the last 8 years. Every year, I kind of build another year, but we had the second best performance in terms of net position, revenue versus expenses. Then we went into January. We had the fifth dilate, so we were kind of middle of the pack. February was an anomaly because we had the best year in the last 8 years, and then March we were 7th. April we had the worst April in my 8-year records. May we had the worst, and in June we had the third best. So the second best, the second half was basically the worst second half we've had in 8 years. It's a close second to last year, but we did a lot of additional spending at the end of the year, which was intentional to pay for our extension building. So it really was the worst second half that we had in the past 8 years. So in regards to expenses for fiscal year 20, though, we did pretty good job as a county and keeping a close eye on our expenses and bringing the budget in where we projected it. We didn't spend any contingencies. We didn't spend any financial stabilization funds. We didn't need to utilize litigation reserves, just to name a few of them. So I think we did a pretty good job, and I say we as a county. Revenues of our 34 revenue accounts that actually have a budget, we hit or went over 18 of them. So we did really well with revenue. 16 were below projections, slightly, but no big numbers, and about 4 others that weren't budgeted had dollars. The big items there were property transfer taxes. We were plus $260K. Gas and oil severance taxes. We had about $246K increase over budgeted. Wine and liquor taxes, Tom, $226K.
Wow.
Over what we had projected. And the big one is where everybody was wondering how this would affect our budget. Property taxes, we were $112,000 over what we projected. So from a revenue standpoint, we did real well. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention to all of our employees that we've had discussions about employee raises. We were being prudent to see where we go as we get into this fiscal year. because we're not sure with W coming back, and there's so many unknowns. We don't know where our budget's going to be. So it's not a dead issue, but we certainly already took the step to cover $441,000 worth of insurance increases, and the county absorbed that so the employees wouldn't be hurt. But we will be looking at raises as we get a month or two into the year, so we have a better place, or we have a better snapshot of where we think we're going. I think we're going to be okay, but it's only prudent. It was Commissioner Bloom's suggestion that we wait and then take a look once we have a couple months into the fiscal year of data to base those decisions on, and I think that was a very prudent suggestion. So it's not a dead issue, but we should at least mention that so our employees understand that we're still looking out for you. We still want to keep the employees that we have, and we know we have to be competitive, and we're still going to get there. We just need a little bit more data before we can make those decisions. So, and that's all I have, Tom.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, I want to thank Renetta and Sean for doing the budget. When I first got on here, we would have carryovers of several $1 million in the positive. We had 1 year where we didn't.
Unbudgeted.
Unbudgeted,
Yeah.
yes. And this way, one of the things and the concepts that's been, and I'll give Sean really the credit for this, which is saying to the departments, we're going to lower it, but if you need the money, come back to us. And that's basically what we're now able to do. So, that has happened several times. So I really appreciate your help on that. The second thing, as you mentioned about Friday, or yesterday's meeting, I'm really thrilled about it. I think the potential for economic growth, and as I called it, a symbiotic economic relationship, that this Greene County is an area that we never thought about that we could work together on, and it went extremely well. And the one area I do want to mention, because I think it's really important, that we believe is almost like infrastructure after water, sewage, and roads, would be the broadband and internet service. And we learned that they have several $1 million invested, with the possibility of $25 million of now getting their county down to right by the Mason-Dixon Park. So by putting it there, we asked, could we then extend it and work with them? And that's what we're going to look at. Because the other companies we've been using, they would have to start up, but here we could just extend it down. And this is real exciting for the western end. I mean, I can only imagine what we could do when, those people are on the internet education and they just can't keep up with what other people have, like in Ashland Estates or Cheat Lake. So there were some just really, really positive recreation programs. Tourism, they were so thrilled with that. Susan was willing to put them on the regional calendar, that they're already submitting stuff. So this was really good. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, a very important day in Greene County. If you do not know, I'm married to someone from Waynesburg, and today is Rain Day. So I want you to know, Rain Day, it's only unfortunate they're doing it virtually. So they have a big race and all these other events, but this is Rain Day, so I will promote it for Greene County. I have some other great news. I received an email from Senator Joe Manchin, who told me that the CDC came out with this week. A 6-person team deployed on July 23rd to assist the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources Bureau for Public Health with case investigation and contact tracing efforts, will be housed in Morgantown. So we got 6 people from the CDC, and that also goes with the unfortunate movement of the individuals that were doing it from the state, and they've gone back to Charleston, which we didn't know about. So this kind of helps out because they went back to Charleston. But that is really, really good news. And I said we're in the yellow. I think I have everything else maybe covered. Yeah, I didn't do. Basically, we're very excited. WVU did listen to us. I think they were very concerned about the situation, and they came up with a compromise to bring in the freshmen. And I want to thank Rob Alsop, Gordon Gee, for continually talking with us and working with us in the health department, and we will monitor the situation as it goes. But I think it's finally very positive. Now we just keep asking the people the 3 things: social distance,
washing your hands, and wear a mask. And I think it is clearly making a difference. And get your pledge so you can go there. Do I have a motion to
Move to
adjourn?
adjourn?
Second, we are adjourned.